It wasn't drugs, it wasn't steroids, it wasn't keto, it wasn't fasting, it wasn't Slimming World, or some sort of pyramid scheme well-being program that involves drinking breakfast and lunch and dinner through a shaker bottle and posting on Facebook, "Hey girls, I have this new weight loss burning pill. The health package is only £160 a month and you can also sell on my behalf and become my little bitch goblin." Just thought I'd clear that little disclaimer up nice and early. Happy New Year. I thought this was a perfect time to pose a video out on how I initially lost 85 pounds many years ago and still carrying on with the cemented in fitness lifestyle, if you want to call it that. Now this video is no attempts to brag or flex on my story or who I am. It's merely an attempt to do three things: inspire, motivate, encourage. Actually 4 things, and to inform, potentially, especially people that would have been around similar lifestyles and situations that I was initially in. So a little bit of backstory. Initially, when I gained the weight, I just left school. I was in pretty good shape. I went to the gym very casually, but nothing too serious. I came from a family, however, of, let's say, there was no emphasis on healthy eating, no emphasis on eating well, no emphasis on, it was just your basic meals, you know, burger and chips on a Tuesday. You know, some cooked meals here and there, but most of it was, you know, on a Wednesday, maybe Chinese night. So a lot of it very much so was eat as you go. And my dad at the time was, you know, not in, you know, good physical shape, and there was no emphasis on the family for even physical activities. We didn't walk as a family or go out. We didn't have cars, but we didn't walk, or, you know, our daily lifestyle. A lot of it was taxis or just, you know, general sitting in the house and wasting away. So I got my first job, which was in a local shop not too far away from me. And at the time I was in still pretty good shape, but the shifts were, let's say, irregular. So I worked 6 a.m. in the mornings to 3 in the afternoon sometimes. But the majority of my shifts was 3 p.m. in the afternoon to 12 at night. So you weren't getting home maybe to 1 o'clock, half 12. And at that point, you feel like you've wasted a lot of the day. So what you do is you stay up late. What I used to do is watch documentaries and play games. But that involved a lot of eating as well. So I used to consume a lot of my calories at the end of the night at about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. Usually, if you want a bit of an insight to what that involved was I don't know if you've heard of Rustler burgers. Basically just pre-cooked McRibs or burgers in packages. They're fucking horrible. They make your output gas smell atrocious. I'm surprised they're even allowed to be marketed in that way. And pop in the microwave for a minute. Well, I used to have about 3 of those, and about 2 boxes of Maltesers, or a full family sharing tub of celebrations, and a bowl of ice cream. And I used to knock that out every night. So as you can imagine, my lifestyle quickly went downhill very fast. I gained a lot of weight, and it was quite noticeable. But I wasn't really concerned with this at the time. I came from a lifestyle of playing video games too much, playing guitar out. While it wasn't exactly a productive thing, well, apart from the playing guitar, most of it was stationary. I wasn't up and moving about, and there was a lot of video games as well, and just general eating. Shortly around this time, I joined a heavy metal band, and that involved a lot of gigging, which meant I didn't drive at the time. So when I was out in bars a lot more, I was drinking, eating a lot of takeaways before gigs, so the lifestyle just added on top of that. But it all came to a head. So at this point, I was about 16 stone in weight. And for someone as short as me, it looks like a hobgoblin. I mean, that's very compacted weight all down. And that's the thing. If you're taller, the weight kind of distributes a lot more evenly. If you're smaller, you're fucked. So the turning point for me, 2 things, actually. At one point, I was at a local festival where we live. But you might have it where you are, Oktoberfest, the German drinking beer festival, and we had tickets that night for it, a lot of us. And we went as a group of friends, and we were all just sitting down. There was no walking whatsoever. Halfway through the night, I started to get breathing difficulties, started getting very wheezy, To the point, actually, I had to go home early. And my dad had a lot of breathing problems. I used one of his inhalers and it cleared it up. Went to the doctors the next day. They told me it could be seasonal asthma. But I wasn't really convinced because I knew that I used to get this when I even walked a wee bit. If I walked the length of me, I would start to get breathless and wheezy. But that wasn't enough to make me lose weight. I knew that was concerning and I knew that had something to do with my weight, but that wasn't enough to make me lose weight. What was enough to make me lose weight was, let's say, manly encouragement through the gist of, we'll call it banter, slagging, where I'm from, or just hatred. No, it's from my father and my brother. Anytime in the house that there used to be a sort of like a fight or a bit of banter, their response to me used to be, shut up, fatty, or go upstairs and eat another bowl of ice cream, fatty. And I used to run upstairs like a little 16-year-old girl and go, you bastard, and eat a load of ice cream. But I didn't do it. I used to run upstairs just angry, and instead of me eating, my approach was, you fuckers, I'm gonna fucking show you. And that was the nail in the coffin for me. So it was actually quite positive. That was the nail in the coffin, made me go, fuck you. I'm gonna show you all. I'm actually gonna get in better shape than all yous, and I'm gonna put this in the coffin once and for all. So at first, to do this, the problem was I needed to get inspired and motivated. I have an addictive personality, but only towards certain things like music and stuff. I can latch on to things and really work hard on it. But the problem is that it needs to be something that latches onto me and I get interested in. If it's not, it's fucked. So what did I do? I watched a load of motivational lectures, people like Jordan Peterson and stuff. Now you can scoff at what Jordan Peterson is, but it helped me a lot in terms of the forceful idea of adapting responsibility, masculinity, accepting responsibilities, and a stoic approach. That helped me a lot, actually. So what I did was I got really inspired with it. I wanted to do it. I made myself a commitment saying, I'm going to do this, but I want to do it right. I researched weight loss by watching brilliant videos like these. Videos on weight loss and muscle building. And I tried to absorb it as much as I could as a hobby, knowing that I would carry on with it and hopefully love it as a hobby. And I knew if I loved it as a hobby, I would definitely keep going with it, no matter what happened. And it would be a lifestyle choice. Because fundamentally, I understood at the start, it needed to be a lifestyle choice. It couldn't be something that was just a phase, because I know that I would lose the weight and eventually just go back on again. And I would just repeat that stupid cycle for the rest of my life. Didn't want that to happen. So, how did I do it? I didn't know miles from my elbow at the time, but I knew I needed some form of plan to go into the gym. Now, at this time, I was still going to the gym overweight. It was very casually, though, after work. It was basically pissing around, jumping the pillar to pillar, not really getting anywhere. So I thought I need an online program. So I typed into Google, an online fitness program to look better. And a website came up. Now, I'll tell you now, this website right now, if it was now in my life, I would laugh it out of the room. I would debunk it, and I would expose it for what it is. I think it was Kinobody website, but it was a website that basically said, it basically opposed to you an online program, and it said, what body do you want? There was 3 bodies. There was the Greek god, the superhero, or the warrior. And it promised you that if you pick one of these bodies, you just click it, pick the body you want. It was like I was like a kid in an iPad shop. I was going, what body do I want? What body would I like? What body would suit me? And what you did was, it promised you. It said, if whatever body you click, then we will deliver you the online program in accordance to getting that kind of physique shape and the nutritional. Now, right now, I can tell you right now, that is bollocks. Body type's all genetics. That means nothing. But what I will say is, I never had an online program before, and it made wonders going into the gym because I had something to follow. And I remember telling my brother, who was the same as me, just wasn't really that into it. I said, we're going to do a program. We're going to look like warriors. We're going to look like warriors. So we followed a program, and this lasted for several months. I committed myself 3 days in the gym. A Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. Very easy. I told myself, these are my committed days. These are like work. I do them after work. I don't finish work then. I finish work at 5 o'clock. Technically, in those days, I didn't finish work till 6:30. I told myself. I said, that's my 6:30 shift. So I fundamentally put in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and followed that for several months. And I did not let that sway in the slightest. Work dues, no. Wednesday, I train. Made that commitment. Now going forward throughout those years, then I started to up it. I put up to 4 days eventually. Then up to 5 days, 6 days, then eventually 7 days, which is not recommended, but we're getting that in a different topic. 7 days we had. Now, what did I do with the nutritional side of things? The nutritional side of things was also done the exact same fashion. When I started this, what I used to do is get up and 45 minutes early every morning. And what I did was, it was pitch black. I used to put my hoodie on, put my hood up, put my inspirational lecture program, walk down the stairs, listen to it. I used to have my pre-prep breakfast ready in the fridge. It was 2 boiled eggs, which was stinking when you opened it in the mornings, and a protein shake. And I used to walk over to the table, put my motivational lecture on with my hoodie up, and eat it in pitch black room. And that was the only change I made for 2 months. I ate all my other shite throughout the day, but that fundamental breakfast meal was the only one changed. Once that became autopilot and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, 3 months later, then 3 months in, I added a second good meal, a lunch. And then 2 months later, I added a third good meal, a dinner. And then 6 months in, I added several good snack meals. Eventually, up to 7 good nutritional meals a day. Then I started training like a bodybuilder. Now, the path that I made on this was deciding to go down the bodybuilding route. Now, this is not a path you need to go. What happened with me was I lost all my weight and I got ridiculously thin. I ended up actually going to weight gainers, which also a pile of shite, but we'll get there. The point I'm making though is I lost a tremendous bit of weight. I was about near 100 kilo, I got down to 60 kilo. I got too thin, I wanted to build the muscle back up, and then that started my muscle building journey and my interest for coaching and just all interest within nutrition training. The point I'm trying to make with this video though is my direct success from weight loss came from small little changes. I wasn't going to go cold turkey like a heroin addict. If you pull the heroin from the heroin addict, what happens? He goes cold turkey, starts slapping his arm, and he goes back to square one. You need to subtly take it off him. So what I did was I subtly removed the things. I changed one breakfast for 3 months, still ate everything else. 3 months later, I changed the second meal, the third meal, the fourth meal. And then I left all my junk meal and my takeaways to the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I took away 1 day from that. And then eventually I'm under 1 day of junk food. But the point was I had that fundamental consistency. Training days were the exact same thing. Eventually, as I grew more and more the love for it, I increased the days as I went. Now, my journey is very different. Now I'm a drug-free competing bodybuilder. But my journey is very different from someone that wants to lose weight. If your goal is to lose weight, the routine will be much easier. And I reject the premise of people saying that, oh, well, it's different for you. It's different for you. I have a family. I have this. I have 2 small children. Me and my partner have no support network. We don't have any grandas or grandas to mind the kids. We have no childminders. It is just us. It's a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. And we still manage to keep the weight off and hit our targets. So it can be done. It just requires a level of strategic planning in your meals. That's all I have that's all I can suggest for my weight loss. You need to make the small little changes that are realistic. That's it. It's that easy. And if you want to go down the route of building more muscle, I can't recommend resistance training enough. We have a bunch of videos on the channel. You can go back on and watch now on protein, carbohydrates, fats, the best training split, everything that you can. Weight training will make a tremendous aid towards weight loss. But your main goal for weight loss is just keep ticking your boxes every day. Small little changes. Fundamentally keep moving, keep the water intake up, and save all your junk food and takeaway to the weekends to still enjoy yourself. Comment underneath the video if you've only had any success with fat loss journeys. I'd love to hear it, or if you're going through one right now. And if you have any questions, please comment below and I will try to respond as best I can. For now, I've been Cord from the Ox Den. Have a lovely day.